Fortunately, the problem was not serious, so Xianxia took only half a month to deal with it properly. The next thing to do is naturally to count the gains from the trip to the Emperor Garden. Thinking of this, Xianxia stretched out his hand to put a touch on his own space ring. Light flashed, and a pile of medicinal herbs immediately appeared in front of him. These medicinal herbs were naturally collected in that hidden valley together with the people of Iceheart Valley. At that time, Xianxia didn't have time to deal with it, so he placed it in the space ring at will. Now that he is free, he naturally has to organize it, otherwise, if it is placed like this, the effect of the medicine will definitely be lost. As an alchemist, Xianxia naturally knows how to properly preserve the spirit grass spirit medicine. He took out the boxes of different materials from the space ring, and carefully preserved them according to the characteristics of the different medicinal herbs. Suitable for jade preservation will be placed in the jade box, and the one suitable for wooden box will be placed in the wooden box. There are many specialties in preserving medicinal herbs, but this is not difficult for Xianxia. After being busy for a while, it was quickly handled, and Xianxia put away the boxes with a smile on his face. These are hundreds of potions that are full of medicine age. Although there are high and low grades, each of them is invaluable. After all, these potions have existed in the hidden mountain valley for tens of thousands of years, and they can all be said to be made from million years old of spirit medicine. The spirit pills made from such spirit grass spirit medicines are far better than those made from ordinary spirit grasses, and it is also a huge help for Xianxia to refine his own alchemy. In conjunction with the medicinal herbs collected from the floating continent when he entered the Star Territory at the beginning of the year, Xianxia felt that before he was promoted to the Void King Alchemist, he should definitely not lack the Void King materials that can be used to practice. What Xianxia took out next was an alchemy furnace, which was also found in that hidden mountain valley. It was the pill refining furnace that the Valley Master had used before in his lifetime, which had the rank of the Void King, which was extremely rare in the world. Xianxia already has two things like this. One is the Void King grade refining furnace where the fiery bird item reside, and the other is the pill refining furnace in front of him, but no matter which, it cannot be seen in leisure. If the item refiner and the alchemist have a good furnace, then they can save a lot of time during the item refining and alchemy, and they can also refine better artifacts and pills. There is a saying, if you want to do something good, you must first sharpen your tools, which is true. It is a pity that refining furnaces and alchemy furnaces are more difficult to refine than general artifact. Therefore, refining furnaces and alchemy furnaces of the same level are far more rare and valuable than artifacts. The young woman of Iceheart Valley also knew the value of this pill furnace, but she had many thoughts and concerns. Still gave the pill furnace to Xianxia in exchange for more pill distribution. This choice is not a loss for her, but it is a profit for Xianxia. Xianxia could refine the pill by himself in the future. Even the pill that was born with the pill mark was not difficult for him, but it was very difficult to see the Void King grade pill refining furnace. The pill furnace is about half a person tall and has a simple texture. A sense of desolation spread from it. The whole body was purple, and in the body of the tripod, there were two large characters. Xianxia didn't check it carefully at the time. Now looking at it, he suddenly found that those two characters were actually the two characters Purple Void. This is obviously the name of this pill refining furnace. Purple Void Cauldron. The name is not bad. There is such an alchemy furnace to assist him. Refining pills will become easier and the quality will be higher in the future. The pill refining furnace is not the same as the artifact. You don't need to spend a lot of time to refine it, you just need to burn your own mark in the pill refining furnace. However, because this Purple Void Cauldron has a master before, Xianxia must erase the former master's mark, only then can it be rebranded. It's not difficult. The owner of the hidden mountain valley had been dead for tens of thousands of years, and the imprint left by it was extremely weak. Xianxia didn't even bother to erase it, and it took a few more days to rebrand it with his own mark, and successfully took this Purple Void Cauldron as his own. After playing with it happily for a while, Xianxia put it away, and it was not necessary to use it before it was time to do pill refining. Immediately, Xianxia took out another thing. That is a spirit pill. It was not the pill that Xianxia and the young woman of Ice Heart Valley received, but Xianxia fished it out of the purple void cauldron. When he discovered this purple void cauldron at that time, Xianxia swept the interior with his spiritual mind, and noticed that there was a pill inside. According to the posture that the skeleton held before his death, it should be when the valley owner was dying. It was the last medicinal pill he refined. Fortunately, it was successful. However, before Xianxia had time to investigate carefully, the young woman from Ice Heart Valley also chased into the cave, so Xianxia quickly put away the pill, not knowing if it could be used. If it is an ordinary pill, no matter what its quality, after tens of thousands of years the internal medicinal effect must have disappeared and can no longer be used. It is just a waste pill. The only thing that can keep the effect of the medicine is pill mark. The pill mark is like a chain, which will lock the medicinal properties of the pill and restrain the medicinal properties. At that time, the spirit pills distributed by Xianxia and the young woman of Ice Heart Valley in the cave were all with pill marked, which were rare, and all other waste pills had been discarded. As for whether the pill in the purple void cauldron has a pill mark, Xianxia is not sure, but this does not prevent him from looking forward to it. After all, it is the spirit pill that the pill refining master will spend the last bit of life energy to make. But at this moment, when Xianxia opened his eyes to the spirit pill in his hand, his expression changed involuntarily, and immediately revealed a look of horror and ecstasy, and he lost his voice. Pill clouds. He never expected that the spirit pill he fished out of the purple void cauldron would give birth to a pill cloud. On the surface of the spirit pill, clouds and mist lingered, as if a group of colorful clouds had shrunk and wrapped it, looking beautiful. This is indeed pill clouds. Xianxia was stunned for a long time before he was sure that he had no dizziness. Xianxia hadn't seen the spirit pill with pill cloud for a while. He had taken one pill, and he personally refined one. The spirit pill he took had made the 5 colors mild soul lotus he possessed evolve to a 6-color level and improved his strength. The refined spirit pill independent fire pill was used to rescue Xueyu. The one taken was found in the ancient relics on the bottom of the Tongxuan Continent, and the one refined was something that happened on Rain Shower Star. Xianxia knows the difficulty of pill cloud's appearance better than anyone. This is simply not something manpower can achieve. He is now refining the pill, and the probability of the pill mark is very high, about 20 to 30%, but for so many years, only one independent fire pill gave birth to a pill cloud. It was refined in a state of breaking through one's own limits and almost exhausting him to death. Judging from the spirit pills he got in the cave, Xianxia also knew that the master there must be a great alchemy master before in his life, otherwise, he wouldn't be able to refine so many pills with pill mark. He originally thought that the spirit pill that this person had spent the last bit of life energy to refine should also have pill mark, but the truth of the matter was far more shocking than he expected. This is actually a spirit pill with pill cloud. And judging from the medicinal effects and energy fluctuations that emanated from its interior, it was a Void King grade spirit pill. That person is so amazing. Xianxia secretly lost consciousness. A single Void King grade pill is already valuable, let alone a Void King grade pill with a pill cloud. And it has existed for tens of thousands of years. Xianxia took a deep breath. Such a pill value could not be judged with ordinary eyes. Xianxia, who had always been calm and collected, suddenly found that his face was twitching and his hands were shaking slightly. As everyone knows, once the pill mark is born, the pill will last forever and double its efficacy. If a pill cloud is born, not only will the effect of the medicine is doubled, but as time goes by, the pill cloud will automatically absorb the world's spiritual energy, nourish the pill, and make the effect of the medicine become stronger and stronger. The longer the time, the greater the effect. The pill that Xianxia took at the time allowed his 5 colors mild soul lotus to evolve. It was precisely because of the accumulation and precipitation of thousands of years that the effect of the pill became so terrifying, and he took it at that time. At the time, Xianxia almost exploded and died, but fortunately mild Soul Lotus had absorbed most of the medicinal effects. But compared with the one in front of him, that one spirit pill is simply incomparable, not to mention that the two grades are worlds apart. The precipitation and accumulation of this time alone made the one that year unmatched. What is the concept of tens of thousands of years? Suddenly, Xianxia felt that his mind could not turn around a bit, and he was lucky enough to get such a heaven-defying thing, and his luck was also great. Everything that was obtained from the hidden mountain valley was eclipsed in front of this Void King grade spirit pill. After the shock and excitement, Xianxia smiled bitterly again. What amazing medicinal effect should be contained in such a pill? Regardless of what purpose it has, it is impossible to use it solely on his own current cultivation level. Swallowing it hastily, there is only one ending. The body exploding. Even if the powerful Void King realm take it, they might not be able to withstand the medicinal effects, let alone Xianxia. Thinking of this, Xianxia's excitement gradually calmed down. The top priority is to understand the purpose of this pill, and at least understand what it is. Squinting his eyes and looking into the spirit pill, Xianxia found that the interior was crystal clear, with a translucent thing flowing, and in it there was something like a hair strings, which seemed to swim endlessly like it was alive. No way. Xianxia was shocked again and again. This spiritual pill was about to be born with spirituality. That gossamer-like existence is obviously the result of years of accumulation and precipitation. As long as this grain of spirit pill is given some more time, it may really open up its intelligence and become an alternative existence. Pills and psychics are just a theory, not even a legend. Xianxia did not expect that one day he would be able to witness the correctness of this theory. It is a pity that since it has fallen into his own hands, it will one day play its role, and there is no real possibility of psychic being born. To be continued. Half an hour later, Xianxia looked sad and sighed helplessly. Based on his attainments and knowledge in alchemy, he could not judge the type of this spirit pill. He didn't know its type at all. He could only vaguely judge from the fragrance of the medicine that it was used for cultivation and was not harmful. Could it be a spirit pill that was lost in ancient times? Xianxia frowned, and secretly guessed that if this is the case, it is understandable that he can't recognize it. After all, the spirit pill refined by the cultivator tens of thousands of years ago must be somewhat different from now. Xianxia was not in a hurry to recognize it, and temporarily collected this virtual king-grade spirit pill, and waited for a chance to confirm it later. Anyway, the spirit pill will not be used indiscriminately in his own hands. There is always time to figure it out. Thinking of this, Xianxia took out another thing and studied it. That is a phalanx. Speaking of this trip to the Emperor Garden, the harvest from the hidden valley alone was enormous. Hundreds of thousands of elixir, dozens of elixir with pill mark, and the Void King class refining furnace. The Void King grade pill that is born with pill cloud, each one is very valuable. This phalanx was also obtained from the hidden mountain valley, and it was the only bone left by the valley owner after his death. Xianxia just had respect for the alchemy master, and wanted to bury him to let him find peace, but didn't expect to accidentally discover this unweathered finger bone while burying his bones. It is also a good thing. Xianxia didn't know what secret was hidden in this finger bone, so he could only start to study it now. Holding this phalanx, Xianxia carefully observed it. It was discovered that although it had gone through tens of thousands of years' time, this bone was still as moist as jade, white and flawless, as if it had been refined by a special secret technique before in his life. This thought surged, and Xianxia immediately became excited. He has never seen a cultivator who treats a part of his body as an artifact, but since the other party has done so, it must have a profound meaning. Perhaps this finger bone really hides some great secret. Saint Chi was surging. Xianxia tried to pour his own power into this phalanx, but he was greatly disappointed. This phalanx did not accept his own Saint Chi in the slightest, and there is no change at all. After a while, Xianxia collected his own Saint Chi. Since the phalanx did not accept it, it would be useless to try anymore. It didn't respond to Xianxia's infusion. What about divine consciousness? Yang Kai thought so in the heart. He immediately urged his own divine consciousness. Suddenly, the vast sea-like divine consciousness appeared as misty existence, wrapping up that segment of the finger bone. Spiritual mind transformation. Only when the power of divine consciousness reaches a certain standard, the power of the invisible divine consciousness will undergo this miraculous transformation, and in turn will appear traces that allow people to capture its existence with the naked eye. Xianxia's consciousness is nourished by colorful mild soul lotus, and even if he does not deliberately cultivate it, his divine consciousness is always growing. Therefore, although his cultivation level is only at the first-order void return stage, the strength of his divine consciousness has barely reached the standard of transformation. This is something that even an ordinary Void King realm can't do. It is enough to be proud of. Moreover, his divine consciousness is also the mutated variation of divine consciousness, which is the conflagrated knowledge sea with a great damage, so the misty existence also shows a fiery red color. This time Yang Kai guessed it correctly, that phalanx did not accept Xianxia, but had an extremely sensitive response to divine consciousness. When the fiery red divine consciousness enveloped it, a dazzling white light burst out of the phalanx. Immediately, a huge and incomparable pulling force was transmitted from the phalanx, instantly sucked in Yang Kai's divine consciousness. Yang Kai didn't become surprised. Although he didn't know what would happen next, this kind of involvement was not too dangerous, and if he wanted to resist, he could withdraw his divine consciousness. Mindful of this, he did not resist more, but followed the strength of the involvement and allowed the divine consciousness to pour into the finger bones. In an instant, Yang Kai seemed to have come to another world. Under the prying eyes of his spiritual mind, there was nothing but a gray rune around him. Only magical runes swam around like fish. This. Yang Kai looked astonished. He actually felt the power fluctuations of the divine consciousness from those magical runes, and these runes were also produced by divine consciousness. Needless to say, it was obviously the spiritual mind of that alchemy master. Unexpectedly, that person not only has extremely high achievements in the way of alchemy, but also in the realm of cultivation level. He can make his own spiritual mind appear such an obvious state of transformation. He is at least a third-order Void King realm. After sensing the arrival of Yang Kai's spiritual mind, those magical runes seemed to have been activated, rushing towards Yang Kai, instantly blending with his spiritual mind. Yang Kai's body was shocked, his eyes gleamed, allowing those runes to blend into his own divine consciousness, and he began to figure out the secrets hidden in these runes. At first, Yang Kai was still at a loss, but as time passed, more and more runes merged with his divine consciousness, and he gradually understood the mystery contained in that phalanx. After those runes were rearranged and combined, and after they were integrated, what was left for Yang Kai was actually a pill book inherited from the ancient times. Pill Way True Understanding. Yang Kai had read a lot of things like alchemy books, and it was precisely when he obtained a pill refining formula from the Medicine King Valley that he began to embark on the road of alchemy. But there is no alchemy book that can be compared with this Pill Way True Understanding. The various knowledge and alchemy techniques contained in the true secret art of alchemy, as well as the spiritual formation used in the alchemy, were just like a child's game in front of the Pill Way True Understanding. This pill book was not created by the owner of the valley. He also obtained it from a relic accidentally. It is with this Pill Way True Understanding alchemy that the owner of the valley can achieve the pinnacle of his pill refining technique and become the most famous alchemy grandmaster tens of thousands of years ago. It's just that when the deadline comes, he can't bear this wonderful book to be buried with his own death, and he is afraid that such a wonderful book will fall into the hands of the younger generation, humiliating its prestige. So with a lot of effort, the information in this strange book was transformed with spiritual mind and left it in his finger bones. He also refined his finger bones through a secret method, making it an artifact-like existence, so that it would not wither with the erosion of time. In this way, even if oneself dies, the Pill Way True Understanding will be inherited in this special way. If the younger generation found his bones, he would definitely ignore it, and would only miss the pill way true understanding. Fortunately, Xianxia had the idea of burying him, so he could get the phalanx by chance, and then get the pill way true understanding. This information was also left by the alchemy master. After Xianxia learned about it, he was greatly surprised and felt that his luck was really good. But soon, he threw these distracting thoughts behind him, and immersed himself in the knowledge of alchemy, among the oceans of divine consciousness. Although the pill way true understanding comes from ancient times, long before the time when the valley owner lived, what Xianxia has now is not completely the orthodox pill way true understanding. It also contains the unique understanding of the valley owner and his own experience in alchemy. It is more precious than the pure pill way true understanding. It can be said that the master of the valley has integrated all his life's experience in alchemy into the pill way true understanding. Xianxia was fascinated by it. For a long time, many unsolvable problems encountered in alchemy can be answered here. Although Xianxia had a unique advantage in alchemy, he was only groping forward on his own after all, and few people could give him pointers and instructions in this field. When he was in the Tongxuan Continent, Xianxia occasionally asked the respected old man Li Rui from Heaven's Keep, but since he came to start territory, he had to rely on himself for everything. What's more, Xianxia didn't dare to expose his proficiency in alchemy at will. So with the improvement of his strength, he has vaguely sensed that his alchemy and understanding of alchemy have reached a limit state. This limit is not his own limit. As long as he works hard, he will eventually have a breakthrough. It's just that this time it may take 10 years, 20 years, or even longer. But now it's different. With this pill way true understanding, it is equivalent to Xianxia to having a master who can teach him in alchemy, and he can ask him for advice anytime, anywhere, anytime. In just a moment, he felt that his understanding of a combination of medicine pills had become more thorough. Xianxia became more and more in love with this pill way true understanding, completely unaware of the passage of time, and constantly learned the knowledge of the pill refining, and was extremely greedy. After a full half a month, Xianxia breathed out slowly, and withdrew his spiritual mind from the phalanx, with a look of exhaustion on his face. The release of divine consciousness lasting for half a month caused his divine consciousness power to be consumed enormously. But his eyes were shining brightly, and they looked extremely exciting and bright. After half a month's effort, it naturally couldn't get him to understand the whole pill way true understanding. He just browsed it roughly, and it was a huge gain. It's hard to imagine that if he really understands the pill way true understanding, how far will he reach on the pill refining technique? Does the pill that have a spirit can be called a spirit pill? Xianxia murmured while touching his chin, his face thoughtful. There are many different ideas in the pill way true understanding, which inspired him a lot. The medicine pill's spiritual concept alone can make him qualitatively fly over in alchemy. After pondering carefully for a moment, Xianxia slowly shook his head, no longer thinking about it. The pill way true understanding can be studied carefully in the future, and there is no rush for a while, but the Void King Braid Spirit Pill that has a pill cloud, Xianxia probably knows what it is. The pill way true understanding not only contains all kinds of magical ideas but also the life experience of the valley owner, and there are many recipes that have been lost. Each one is extremely precious, and many have extinct. Through these prescriptions and descriptions, he vaguely understood the type and purpose of that pill. Xianxia took out the Void King Braid Spirit Pill again, placed it on the palm of his hand and observed it. After a long while, he just laughed. It's not wrong, judging from the color, size and aroma of that spirit pill, as well as the various traces inside. This spirit pill should be Dragon Flame Purple Marrow Pill. To be continued.